You may have watched some interviews of people voicing their frustration at how long the House of Commons is taking to legalize assisted suicide. Well, not too long ago, the Senate revised Bill C-7 on assisted suicide, adding 5 amendments. Now it is on the House of Commons to accept or reject these new amendments. But wait, the Senate is different from the House of Commons? What does the Senate do? More importantly, does it do what we pay it to do? Don't worry, after this short video, it will be as clear as day. The Senate was created at Confederation as a legislative tool to protect the interests of minority regions who feared that a big federal government would be too powerful and only represent the interests of the majority. Hence, it was called a sober second thought by Sir John A. Macdonald. In order to perform this function, any bill requires approval of both the House of Commons and the Senate to pass law. Therefore, the majority's voice in the House cannot overpower the Senate's opinion. Today, the Senate still reflects regional interests with near equal representation for each region. There are 105 senators, and a senator is appointed by the Governor General with advice from the Prime Minister. Once appointed, senators can serve up till the age of 75. With that said, what does the Senate actually do? Well, it is very much like the House of Commons. It reads and debates bills before approving them, but it cannot initiate bills on topics of budget or spending, whereas the House can. Senate committees work on behalf of Canadians to improve legislation passed by the government. The scope and range of their work includes social, economic, and political issues facing the country. The Senate technically can veto any bill from the House, but nowadays tends to only amend bills in terms of drafting and does not amend anything significant about the content of the bill. Why, you may ask? Well, remember when I said senators are selected by the Governor General with influence from the Prime Minister? Well, this is essentially the same as the Prime Minister handpicking the senators. Due to this, senators tend to strongly identify with a party and support the party's goals. Therefore, the Senate tends to follow the direction of the House and only makes slight adjustments to bills. And when the Senate did delay bills, this was due to party opposition, where the Senate had a lot of senators from opposing parties. So, is the Senate actually a sober second thought as Sir John A. Macdonald intended? Many have argued, no. If the Senate just follows the House's direction, then the Senate is really just another House of Commons and a bunch of paycheck stealers. This has led to many people wishing for changes to the Senate. However, no constitutional Senate reform has been passed as of yet. There is a light at the end of the tunnel, however. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has played a critical role in Senate renewal, a new approach to Senate appointments, one that shifts away from the partisan body and introduces independent appointments intended to broaden the depth of debate, quality of senators, and reduced partisanship in the chamber. Despite these positive changes, there have also been some not so positive changes as well. For instance, previously the government could have their legislation steered through the Senate by a representative known as the government leader in the Senate. However, now that senators are independent, no such representative exists. This has led to a challenge for the current Trudeau government to get their legislation past the Senate and has given more leeway to amendments. If you have fallen asleep during the course of this video, no need to worry. The key takeaway points are: the Senate was intended as a safety measure against the majority power of the House so that it could protect regional interests. Senators are appointed by the Governor General with heavy influence by the Prime Minister, unlike the House of Commons, where citizens elect local MPs. Due to the appointment process, senators tend to be long-standing party members. As such, the Senate rarely delays or vetoes bills, and instead only makes slight amendments on drafting and clarity. This has led to some people seeking Senate reform. However, nothing substantial has resulted as of yet. Thank you for listening to this short talk on the Senate.